for the break, goes for the bash, and ultra kills Somnus, gets the rage.
There is that combo. Rupture kick.
Now Haunt? Looking for a pick. What? Okay, double! Oh my god, no! They burned through the ages!
Nouns, they don't want to fight without that secondary life, but the chase is on. 33 looking for another doom out potentially. More committed onto K1. He found the Naga, but where's the backup? Here they come. They've got the number. Nice pressure now. Nellis. In comes Gunner. He's got the echo. And Skitter.
Oh my god!
All gone. They are all gone. Moo takes an ultra genius call.
They caught.
Maybe somebody jumps him, but they jump after. And Brawl gonna get silenced right away. The puck's gone. Brawl doesn't get to do anything. He does not get to play Dota. And by the looks of it, neither does the rest of TSM. They're trying to go for the run. Whitemon, they're taking so much damage from this Magnetize. An ultra kill for Squadix.
Whoopsie daisies. That was the
Tormentor.
Oh, are you serious?
You have to play Dota. And it's alright. In comes
Everyone has those mistakes. It was great to see. Group stages over 4 days had so many memorable moments, and it does give us this bracket that we're looking at right now. We talked about those seeding matches, those best of threes, and there we have our upper bracket 8 teams, our lower bracket 8 teams. It is Team Spirit up against Virtus Pro, Liquid, Talon, LGD, 9 Pandas, Nouns, Azure, and the lower bracket being Shopify Rebellion, TSM, EG Gaming, Gladiators, Keydstars, BetBoom, Tundra, Entity.
Yeah, just crazy to think, you know, teams like Shopify, Gaming, BetBoom, and what was it, Tundra, all starting in the lower bracket. A lot of people, of course, would assume they'd be in the upper bracket, but yeah, just kind of ruthless this time around.
The name of these groups is Don't Mess with Tormentor.
Yeah.
This is so funny. There were so many rampages in the groups as well. Like the whole.
4, I think?
Yeah, I think it was 4 or 5 rampages. It was very, very cool to see.
You know, there's going to be a player out there that has never died to a Tormentor in their life of playing Dota. So now they technically are better than some of the pros that we have here at the International.
Do they have to have played a game since the map changes to qualify?
Oh no, for sure. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. They've jumped in a couple games, but they've never died. They've never made such an obvious mistake. But yeah, they're doing good.
Hey, it's hard, you know? There's little skelly boys running around. Sometimes they do more damage than you anticipate, even to yourself from the Tormentor.
And you can't stop them.
No.
they want that Tormentor.
You need to like Wraith Flyer blast the Ancient, but there wasn't one. Oh, so awkward.
With the upper and the lower bracket sheet, the way it played out, we obviously talked about some of those those upset potentials that we saw in the bottom lower bracket, but also those teams going into the upper bracket. The Nouns that we talked about, was there anyone else that either hit into, you were surprised they're in the upper bracket, or for me it's like Tundra, right? They made it to lower bracket and they got to pick their opponent.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I mean, stuff happens. I think they don't look as dominating as they have in the past. Obviously, they had like roster change, and that just can upset the balance of things within the team and your strategies and your plans and what you're comfortable with, and that's just something you have to deal with. I mean, obviously, it's surprising to see Nouns in the upper bracket given what everyone expected, but they also are proving it. They've finally become stable. This is a team where I want to say, like, one of the Dream League they got invited to, I remember them showing up and playing like tier 1 teams, and they were actually owning them in the early game. I remember being like, wow, they're going to win games. Like, they're actually going to like destroy. And then they would throw every time. They choked so hard. Unbelievable.
They learn how to not throw.
Exactly. Then they went to the Bali Major and they did better. They took more game wins than they did from Dream League, and they looked good again. But once again, they kind of choked like the important series and then went out. And now they're here. Now they're actually taking series where it matters. They're taking their upper bracket. They're finishing games out. They're really looking so much better. Like, they're reaching the potential that they've shown throughout the year.
They found that stability for themselves. Also, T, I realized we were talking about Tormentors, we were looking at those highlights, but there are some people out there that might be tuning in to the Road to the International, not having watched any Dota in the previous year. They might not know what changes have happened, and thank goodness we have the perfect person to explain all of those changes, everything you might not know in the past year of Dota. It's Purge.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Yeah, there have been some changes to the game. We got a huge patch about 6 months ago that made the map bigger. Let's take a look at the game footage here. This is the old mini map that we're looking at, and after a couple seconds here, it's going to expand. So what we got to see is a big increase of area. This is a generic line, but basically this space in the center was the old map. Now there's a bunch of stuff on the outside. So let's go through these one by one to talk about what changed. Here's the twin gates on the left here. These were added on 2 sides of the map here. They're both they allow you to teleport through them after a 3-second period. So it's a very easy way to get from one safe lane to the other. So you're going to see a lot more supports rotating to gank carries without having to lose their teleports to do so. That increases the map play. Roshan's also got a new home here. He lives on the bottom right side of the map and the upper left. He's got 2 houses. He's very wealthy now. And the nice thing is that he's very close to the twin gates. So that means for him, every 5 minutes, he's going to switch, go through the twin gate, go over here, and then go to his other home. So he goes back and forth every 5 minutes, and the benefits that he gives you depends on which side of the map he's on when you actually kill him. He gives Ags blessings later or refresher orbs. So we've also got outposts. These are other places on the map to teleport. There's outposts here, here, here. So this is a way that you can use your teleport scroll to get around the map if you want. These 2 in the center can be switched sides if you take an enemy tier 2 tower. And there's also way more neutral camps because there's more space. Let's do a quick count. These 2 in the center can be switched sides if you take an enemy tier 2 tower. And there's also way more neutral camps because there's more space. Let's do a quick count.
Байна.
Decent. Another big part of the game, Wisdom Runes. These are pretty close to the Tormentors on each side. And, sorry, the video didn't switch. There we go. Wisdom Runes on each side of the map. These are going to give your team some experience to the lowest leveled heroes on your team. So teams are really going to fight over these every 7 minutes, especially for the support players. That's really, really important. And finally, the last one that I'll talk about are Watchers. You're going to see these on the map. They're either going to be blue or red or gray if no one's using them, and they are temporary wards that teams can control to get vision. So these are all the different ways that allow you to...
Хэдүүлээ тоглолтонд орохоос өмнө юу ч гэсэн ихний ээлжинд ямар багууд тоглох гэж байгаа мөн дээрээс нь энэ багууд ойрын үед юу болсон тухай гайхээс илүү ярилццгаая. Плей-оффын тоглолтууд бол өнөөдрөөс эхэлж байгаа. Өнөөдрийн ихний тоглолт Spirit болон Virtus Pro гэсэн багууд бэлэн болсон. Энэ бол upper bracket-ийн ихний тоглолт. Багийн бүрэлдэхүүнийг бол хэдүүлээ бүгдээр мэдж байгаа бах. Team Spirit-ийг мэдж байгаа, Team Virtus Pro гэж. Гэхдээ энэ 2 багт юу болсон бэ гэхлээр Virtus Pro багийн коуч DM ажиллаж байгаа. Энэ TI2023 Virtus Pro багийнхан коуч дээрээ DM-тэй болцсон байгаа. Nine Pandas Virtus Pro гэсэн багуудад DM сая TI өмнө хэсэг коуч хийжсэн бол Virtus Pro DM-ийг гаргаад Nine Pandas-ийнхаа одоо өөрсдийн үндсэн коучдэр DM-ийг авцсан байгаа. Rich, Squatix, Norris, Sayu, FNG хуучин бол Ilias тоглодог байсан. Идж байгаа бах. Хэдүүлээ Dota TV-н дээрээсээ үзэхээр бүр тоглолт.
Which one stands out where you like, oh, we could get some spicy 3-game best of 3 happening?
It's kind of a boring answer, but like Liquid Talon have played each other like 100 million times this year.
Yep.
So it's kind of
that exact number.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to see how it plays out again. Probably not so fun for those teams but I think Talon are excited about it, right? These guys like beat Gaimin, and it's like, you beat Gaimin, you beat the guys that won all 3 majors. They're like, yeah, we don't care. We only care about getting back to Liquid because we want to fight them again. Like, that's so funny to me. I'm excited for that matchup.
Yeah, but the thing about Liquid, the only one team that could stop them was Gaming Gladiators, and they're in the lower bracket, so there's no stopping for the upper bracket finals for them.
Yeah, Liquid kind of happy with that one for themselves. It is going to be a great matchup when we get to it. T, do you have one?
I'm probably going to go with like LGD 9 Pandas. I think both of these regions have kind of struggled throughout the year, even last TI. So getting some China or Eastern Europe kind of further into the tournament. And I think LGD was also, there's a lot of pressure on them. They go from like the old guard to now the new kind of fresh talent. The old guard are now suddenly on
the
Azure
prestige
Ray.
though of the org still sits. So even
Super
though the
high,
majority of it has switched over to newer players, you're just like, okay, but it's LGD, you know? You still got the Zhao 8 as your coach. Like,
yeah, he's still there, just kind of looming in the corner. Like he expects to get to the grand finals, expects to get there. And so far, it feels like they're on the track to get there. So yeah, I kind of like to see if they can kind of continue that run.
Yeah. Do you have faith in them, Rezo? Are you like, yeah, LGD, this roster could be the one to make it towards the end?
I think they're in a better form right now than ever, and obviously, like, they have a pretty good chance because they faced already Ramses and Solo many times before, and they came up on top every time. I'm pretty excited what's gonna happen this year around, but I'm gonna be rooting for Nouns in today's matches. I think it's gonna be very like.
YouTube нь Abyss Sport, Facebook нь 1x Tokyo.
Because it's a very big challenge.
YouTube дээр явж байгаа шүү.
That's true. You already mentioned
байхгүй.
before that
TI-ийн турш ерөнхийдөө би байна.
for some people you can draw on that energy, and other people it's almost too much energy to take in all at once. Do you think it's going to be another clean series for them when we do get to it? Right, Nouns are playing at the end of the day, but could it be a
I'm not sure how clean it's going to be.
Okay, you just want them to win. You're just like, doesn't matter how clean it is, get the job done, boys.
For sure. I'm just rooting for these guys because they bring me like the joy when I'm looking how they're playing, and like this K1, the unique heroes that they're picking, like offlane which Doctor initiated from anybody else except David. So.
I mean, it helps that they're playing the last series because they can come in early, maybe series 2 or 3, sit in the corner of the crowd, hear the crowd.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they get to keep on that gamer schedule. You know, I know some of the...
True. Also, if you suddenly go from playing 2 in the morning to the... No, but yeah, I feel like if they come in early, absorb kind of the atmosphere, see what it's like. Of course, the booth will change everything, but I feel like they should be in a relatively good spot to not be so TI type of vibe.
I know that our first matchup is Team Spirit and Virtus Pro, and we'll get into that one a little bit more, but just looking from the outside, Sheep, how do you expect that one to play out?
Okay, well, fine, I'll say it, guys. I think Team Spirit are favored to win.
Oh, really?
I think they have really good results, and they look a little bit stronger than Virtus Pro.
A little bit.
I know they were also actually wanted VP to be the ones that won their match to face them, I think.
Oh, okay, that was the preferred when they saw...
Yeah, so I think they're comfortable with the matchup.
I knew you'd say that, but I'm gonna say that VP are looking like a team that feel the meta right now and feel the heroes that are really powerful right now, and they know how to play them well. And they also, like, from the previous games I've seen, like, they know how to drag the game longer, and they're like playing the same way the Team Spirit is playing, so they're pretty similar in terms of that. But I think VP even like have better understanding of the meta heroes.
Do you think the 4-day break is going to be a hindrance to any teams that might have lost momentum? Because VP had that rough start, they built it up for themselves. Any other team playing today that sort of sits in that category too?
Yeah, I think the 4-day break the teams that are suddenly in their stride, now their strats are going to be picked apart a little bit more, like these Spirit Breakers, these Bristlebacks. It's like, oh, wait, we can counter this hero, we shouldn't be so afraid. So I think that's going to hurt some teams, and like VP, they've never beat Spirit in the entire year. The organization hasn't beat Spirit for nearly 2 years.
They've still gotten games off of them.
Yeah, but that's not a series. I'm not going to go home, Mom, I won a game today. No, it doesn't matter, you're not progressing. Yeah, no. But no, she's not. But no, yeah, so I think for VP at least, this 4-day break is going to help them a lot, and we hear the horn.
The horn.
The horn.
Do you guys know what that means then?
What does it mean, Nat? Can you tell me?
Well, it does mean we're hearing the horn. We are excited to get our day started. We've done enough talking about everything that has already happened in the road to the international. So let's open this show. Let's have our first game. Let's start our upper bracket matches.
It is a beacon, sounding a call to greatness that echoes worldwide. A crucible, forging a single contender worthy of rising above the very best. And a celebration, gathering a community of millions to witness history unfold. It is the International, the final proving ground, where the world's hard-fought victories in matchups around the globe. The journey has tested some more than others. But the favorites and underdogs all know the road to the Aegis defies all prediction. And anyone can carve a new legacy here. The Aegis of Champions returns to Seattle, and with it the eyes of the world. 16 teams compete for ultimate glory. Only one can seize immortality. Who will emerge victorious? The battle begins.
Every team has the potential here. The road to the international playoffs, we're starting today. The vibes are electric, Sheep.
I am feeling it. The crowd is filling up. I'm so hyped right now. I can't wait for the first game.
Well, you don't have to wait too much longer because we're going to bring our very first team out. Let's welcome them to the stage. Team has struggled all year, just missing out major after major. But here they are in the upper bracket, walking out on stage. They have so much to gain for themselves, backs against the wall, and they're going to be up against a tough opponent. An opponent that we're going to welcome to the stage now.
Spirit болон Virtus Pro. Энэ плей-оффын тоглолтууд өнөөдөр эхэлж байгаа. Тиймээс ямар шилэн оргонж яаж тоглох. Хайзан дээр хүзэмж ямар байх нь харцгаая да жоохон. Тэгээ драфтнаас эхлээд дотоогоос үзье.
This team has done it before and they could do it again. Our TI10 champions are walking out here in the convention center at Seattle. They're going to be coming up against the Virtus Pro. They dominated the group stage. They went undefeated. They went undefeated in their best of 3 for the seeding, and they're the favorites in this matchup. Could they continue this undefeated streak? Could we see them go 10-0?
I mean, if there ever was a series, this is probably one for Spirit, because throughout the entire year they have had the best over Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro has lived in the shadows of all the other Eastern European teams. They finished 4th every single time. They have been like one series away from getting to a major, but they've just never been good enough. But to be in the upper bracket, to be against a team that they've screwed throughout the entire year, this is like the nicest moment for them. Like they can finally.
Өнөөдөр ихний тоглолт Virtus Pro Spirit гэсэн магадаар эхэлж байгаа. Энд бол Virtus Pro-гийн мэд squad-ын X харагдаж байна. Цаатлынх нь урт үстэй нь болохоор FNG.
Head-to-head record sheet. We talked about that one for a little bit. That throughout the whole DPC, in those 3 tours, they weren't able to take a series. Yes, one game, but not a series.
Та энийг бүрстэй амар хас. Ер нь бол арай илүү баг нь Spirit л байгаа да. Virtus Pro арай жоохон хавтахгүй болох. Тэгээ драфтыг нь харж байгаа юу болох нь харжлаа.
Talk on it in their videos. Actually, both of these teams produce vlogs for TI, which have been very fun to watch. It's kind of cool to see how both of them are dealing with the group stage and stuff so far.
Өрөөнд зоочлаа. Энэ коллапс харагдаж байна. Тэгэл Spirit техник бол айгүй сайн таньж байгаа шүү дээ. Мира. Тоглогчдыг нь бол ер нь бүгднийг идчих хэвээр. Тэмцээнд орохдоо тоглолтын дундуур бол утсаа хураалгадаг. Ерөнхийдөө бол утас болон цагаа хураалгадаг. Бүхэн гадны тэмцээн гэлтгүү Монгол тэмцээн дээр ч гэсэн утас цагаа хураалгах тохиолдол байдаг. Мөн драфтны хойноос бол өвч болон менежерүүд гарч явах хэрэгтэй байдаг. Тиймээс тэмцээний журмын дагуу цаа болохоор
One of the players I really want to highlight here in Team Spirit, because while Spirit did win TI10, 4 of these players were a part of lifting that Aegis. While wasn't it, so he's the only one on this roster that wasn't a part of that winning TI10 championship. But he doesn't have a TI for himself at all. Rezo, he only joined them this year and maybe
коучийн тал дээр ч гэсэн Spirit-ийн коуч мундаг баха. Энэ Silent гэдэг хүн чинь коуч тоглогч байхдаа бас аимшиг нөхөр байсан юм. Одоо энэ Virtus Pro-да тоглодог байсан шүү дээ. Virtus Pro тоглодог байснаар нь л хүмүүс сайн мэдэх бах та. Vega Squadron энэ Empire гэсэн баг тоглож байсан. Хэдүүлээ мэдэн ш нөгөө Ирийн туссан өвчнг. Тоглогчдын хувьд бол ерөнхийдөө нэг тим. Тэр одоо юу гэдэг өвч юм? Цодсны нарийслах юм уу нэг тиймэрхүү өвчнөд болсон. Тэгээд түүнээсээ болоод тоглохоо болоод коуч болсон байгаа даа. Мундаг коуч юм Silent гэдэг.
A little bit greedy, just not in the farming way.
Yeah, just got to have your presence on the map. That's kind of what Rezo's kind of hinting at. And for Lal as well, like he started his pro career playing against or playing with one of his opponents, Noticed. You know, they started on VP Prodigy together, and then they Noticed was a carry player back then. Then when Hug joined the team, it was like Windstrike, and he pushed to off lane. So, you know, Lal, he's kind of been there from the get-go against his opponent. So a nice little bit of rivalry. Again, the booths are so close. Maybe he does give him a little wave mid-game, but, you know, it's quite a wholesome series as well.
Yeah, they were on that Bet Boom roster together last TI as well. They ended up coming in 19th, 20th, so not the best placement for themselves last year, but now they're going to come up against each other, Lal and Noticed, in the upper bracket. If you want to talk about captains, though, FNG, he has been around for a little while, hasn't lifted the aegis for himself, but coming up against Maposhka, it's a tough captain to compare yourself to.
Yeah, so I think for both of these players, they are kind of hallmark.
Ялцгүй тавдах юм аа. Уула лайк дарж гарнаа. Оо за. За амжилтсий. Нэрэ guys. Та харсан бах Barcraft.com дээр Abyss Sports Lounge ил орсон байгаа. Тэгээд тоглолтоо бас зингээ Abyss Sports Lounge-аар үйлчлүүлж байгаа хүмүүстээ баярлалаа. Үйлчлүүлэх гэж байгаа хүмүүстээ ч гэсэн баярлалаа. Тоглолт одоо ерөнхийдөө бол лоббинд хүмүүс орцгооцсон байна. Удахгүй л эхлэн дээ.
Recently I had burnout. I just completely was done with Dota for half a year. I wasn't playing, but then I came back and I finished second of TI. So it's like I know how it is. I know how it is like when you
Launch дээр хүмүүс дүүрэн бэлээ.
when you feel that pain inside, but then you still like keep going because you have a passion to the thing you're doing and you want to be like one of the best at it.
And the key thing with that graphic we just saw was just Maposhka. I'd say as a 5 right now, he is a little bit more scaling. Like seeing the Enchantress, like the Tusk as well, like these supports, we were saying in the pre-show earlier, they are the supports that with the map changes, the wisdom, the XP, everything, when you get to that 35, 40-minute mark, knowing that your 5 can pack a punch in the team fight and not just be like, I've hit a grave, like just you've done nothing, So I feel like Maposhka kind of.
Wait. You're talking about Dazzle right now?
Yeah, no, yeah.
That was his voice acting of Dazzle.
Dazzle position 3 is like insane.
No, but FNG's played at 5, and it was so underwhelming because
no, but they have a strat right now with it. Like they have this strat where they can bowl like at the 25-30-minute mark, and they could just like go as 5. Yeah. And this is like they play position 5 Dazzle because it's a flex for them because Notice playing it as a 3 as well.
Oh yeah, like the team, like Squadix on his TA has been phenomenal. I think he was one of the rampages actually in the
he was.
Yeah, and they played that hero so well. Like you're talking about this bull, it's very effective. I actually think we're going to see Team Spirit potentially ban it in the first phase because when they played against Shopify, they also banned the TA because I think the TA, especially on mid, works so nicely against Lal's heroes. And just the tempo and playstyle of TA, it just seems to be really annoying for Team Spirit. So I would not be surprised if we see that hero banned out.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit broader again because Virtus Pro, we talked about Notice, we talked about FNG. I know that you just mentioned Squad there, but Kiritich Squad, and I can never say his name, by the way, the POS 4. Sayu, it is?
Sayush. Sayush.
Is that actually how you say it? Okay. It's because I swear I was getting it wrong.
W is
Sayush? Okay. Let's talk about them. This is their first TI appearance, okay? They've been able to get through qualifiers or attempt at qualifiers, make it quite high there, but not actually making it to the international themselves. So give me some more information other than just how to actually pronounce his name, please, Rezo.
I mean, they're so young as well, right? All of their cores, like around 20 years old.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be
2021.
like very, very challenging for them to play in the first, hopefully like FNG should be the one who's creating the atmosphere in that team, like along with their coach G, to like, guys, calm down. Like we're here to like prove nothing because we already like in the upper bracket, it's already good results for us. Just like, play your best, then to do whatever you feel like doing. Don't be afraid of like making mistakes. And this is like what they need to be focusing on right now because they need to take that pressure out of their shoulders.
Don't be too result orientated, It's still very fresh, very new for yourself. Anything that you want to quickly add, Sheep, about these new players?
Yeah, FNG, he said himself that he thinks that the key takeaway, the biggest lesson that he's learned is confidence. He says that his team, he sees their potential, he knows what they can do, they can own. He says he gets mad when they show up to any of these official games and they play like chickens. He's like, we need confidence. We just need confidence to get out there and win.
Alrighty, well, the confidence, hopefully they're able to take it in for themselves. But this game one, this first series, we are ready to begin. So let's go.
Team Spirit versus Virtus Pro. Game 1.
Draft will be coming up on our screen very soon. I know that lobby is full. Now we can get into the nitty-gritty of these drafts, of the heroes, who's coming into meta, everything I know you three have been waiting to talk about here for the road to the international. So give me some key picks you think Spirit need to focus on getting for themselves, Rezo.
Already. I mean, obviously, it just sets a really good base for them. They've been playing with the Treant as well a lot. Primal Beast is one of their top goals for collapse. Earth Spirit as well, like one of the, these are the heroes that people are looking for because they create so much chaos in fights, and it's so easy to like fight around that already. It just sets a really good base for the team fighting and the strong lanes. Primal Beast, like this Blade Mail heart right now. Everybody's doing that, right? This build, like whatever hero can buy these items, it's in the meta right now. There's also a Bristleback, of course. Like hero has been buffed insane, and with Aghanim's build, just creates this. Like, I think the distraction point of like any heroes that can go into the fight and take all the attention onto themselves, like it's very big key factor for these drafts.
Yeah, especially when they come online so kind of relatively early. Like Bristleback, he just needs Vanguard, Ags. The Spirit Breaker that we see Spirit running quite a lot with Collapse as well. He gets to like the 24-minute mark, and he's got max points in Bulldoze. He's got some like Octarine to be super tanky, low cooldown on Bulldoze as well. Like these heroes, you need to respect them, but I feel like they're
Turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Зя. Тоглолтондоо тавтай морил. За манай өнөөдрийн плей-офф. Өнөөдрөөс эхлээд манай плей-оффын тоглолтууд эхэлж байгаа. Үүгээр бол Virtus Pro Team Spirit гэсэн upper bracket-ийн нэг тоглолт эхлэхэд бэлэн болсон байна. Манайхан бол мэдээж Kn1Fe-дад авчихсан. Тэр хийх нь хийчихсэн байгаа гэж найдаж байгаа шүү.
Seconds remaining.
Hi,
5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro Team Spirit turn to ban.
Virtus Pro юуны төрөнд Team Spirit багийн драфтыг нээдэг Primal Beast гэсэн баатрыг бандсан. Мөн дээрээс нь хэдүүлээ өмнөх цувралын тоглолтуудаар бол нэлээд олонтой харсан бах. Enchantress гэдэг баатрыг аваад л сайхан Mipashko юу ч болоогүй байтал core шиг гараад ирдэг. Тэгэхээр нэлээд respect бан бол орж ирсэн байна. Enchantress бандагдсан. Virtus Pro-гоос бандсан 3 дахь баатрын үйлбэр Kn1Fe, өнөөс нь Phoenix гэсэн баатруудыг ерөнхийдөө бол багтан чиглэсэн бангуудыг хийгээд байгаа. Нөгөө талаас Team Spirit Templar-ыг бандсан байна. За энэ Squad-ны X-ийн баатрыг бандаж эхлүүлж байгаа. Virtus Pro хэдүүлээ бас үтсэн шүү дээ. 2-0-оор хожихтой бол Templar аваад шууд Rampage дуургаж тоглолтыг дуусгасан. Draft-ийн нэгээр бол дарж байгаа. Иймээс Templar-ыг нь бандсан. Хоёр дахь бангийн үйлбэр Shadow Demon гэсэн баатрыг бол өнөөс нь Chaos Knight бандсан байгаа даа. Мэдээж пачны баатрууд орж ирнэ. Team Spirit-ээс орж ирсэн эхний пик Spirit Breaker. Энэ баатарт одоо үнэхээр л утга алгаа. 8 game дээр маш хүчтэй. Wave clear их потенциалтай. Global presence-тэй. Map-ны хаанаас цаашаа гэж гүүгээд багийнхантайгаа connect хийж боломжтой. Мөн дээрээс нь энэ баатар байгаа тохиолдолд Корож ерөнхийдөө бол заавалчгүй линк авах шаардлагатай болж байгаа. Мөн дээрээс нь тэр захын лен дээр гарч явна гэдэг бол маш том асуудал болсон. Тиймээс Spirit Breaker-тэй баг драфтн дээр бол нэлийн том давуу талтай болчиход байна да. Нөгөө талаас Virtus Pro-гоос орж ирсэн эхний пикний хөлбөр Bristleback.
Spirits turn to ban.
Norris-ийн баатар орж ирж их хэвээр доо. Bristleback пачин дээр ялч хүчтэй байгаа. Бараг хамгийн өндөр пик рейттэй байгаа баатруудын нэг нь гэхэд буруудахгүй.
Seconds remaining.
Яадаг Kn1Fe би юу гэж байгаа юм бэ чинь.
Virtus Pros turn to ban.
Зя, Team Spirit онос нь бол
10 seconds.
Dazzle бандсан. Dazzle бол мэдээж бас л пачин дээр хүчтэй байгаа баатрын сонголт. Dark Willow-ыг бандсан. Dark Willow гэдэг баатар ерөнхийдөө Spirit Breaker-ийн хамгийн том counter баатарт бородохгүй. Bramble Maid болон Cursed Crown-ы стандараас шаард авсан байгаа тохиолдолд энэ Spirit Breaker-ийн хөдөлгөөнийг бол хангалттай боомлоод хайчдаг. Нөгөө талаас Virtus Pro-гоос орж ирэх 5 дахь бангийн хөлбөрийг харцгаая.
Virtus Pros turn spirits turn to pick.
Grimstroke.
За Grimstroke. Энэ пик бол ер нь улаасан пик гэхэд буруутахгүй те. Virtus Pro-гийнхны өрсөлдөгч багта Spirit Breaker Grim гэсэн дуу ол явуулахыг хүссэнгүй. Өөрөөсөө шууд сонгоцсон. За мэдээж Grim нь бол пачин дээр хүчтэй байгаа.
5 seconds remaining.
3 дахь скил болох Inkswell-ийг өөрөө тэсэлдэг болчихсон. Inkswell-ийн шаард авснаар Strong Dispel-ийг үзүүлнэ. Hi guys, hi. The Spirit Reserve Time 40 секунд болсон.
Spirits turn to pick.
Spirit-ээс орж ирсэн 2 дахь пикний хөлбөр Ancient Apparition гэж байна. Энэ баатар ер нь бол TI дээр маш том үүрэг гэрэлтэй байгааг харж байгаа. Ancient-ээс олж хідүүлээ ямар олон баатар үзэж байгаа вэ? За одоо шууд Ancient авсан юм чи лэндэ хүчрхэг баатрууд болох Chaos Knight, Sphinx гэсэн баатруудаас сонгох ёстой гэсэн Chaos Knight-ыг өөрсдөө бандцсан байгаа. За Sphinx, Great King гэсэн баатруудыг бол Ancient-тэй хамтд нь авахд нэлийн тухтай байгаа. Энэ удаа Team Spirit ямар сонголт хийхийг харцгаая. Spirit-ийн хувьд бол яг хөө хэдий Collapse маш мундаг тоглогч гэсэн Team Spirit багийн гол суурь тоор дээр Ятор энэ багийн бол булгуур баг нь Ятор болчиход байгаа. Тиймээс шууд carry сонголтоо ил харуулахыг бол хүсэхгүй байгаа. Тэгээ Ancient-тэй авах баатрын сонголт угаасаа цөөхөн байгаад байгаа. Юуны дөрөнд 3 дахь пикний хөлбраар Hoodwink-ийг сонгосон. Нөгөө талаас Virtus Pro Pognat Spectre. Мид Pogna тоглох гэж байна гэж юу? Мид Pogna жоохон хэцүү гейм байна.
10 seconds remaining.
Pogna-гийн хувьд бол attack range холтой, move speed хурдантай, universal баатар. Тиймээс position 4-5 дээр ч гэсэн тоглогддог. FNG-гийн Pogna орж ирэх боломжтой гэж үзсэн. Харин carry сонголтын дээр Spectre орж ирж байгаа. Мэдээж Ancient Apparition болон Hoodwink. Ард талаас тоглолтод гүйцэтгэдэг. Map-ын дээр өөрийнхөө биеийг харуулах юм бол шууд Spectre-ийн хоол болох үс хоёр бортыг бол дарцсан байгаа даа. Явгэр Ирээд 4 дахь пикний хувилбарт
Team
ороход бэлэн болсон.
turn to battle.
Faceless Void.
Faceless Void. Void Ancient гэсэн комбо. Энд аюулт их чаргал. Fog. Okay.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pros.
Map Power 2.7. За хүмүүс ч өөрсдөө таамгийг явуулаад эхэлчихээ. Харж лээ. Энэ хоёр нь бол нэг бүсийн хоёр баг. Таадад ерөнхийдөө хэлэхэд энэ цэсийнхэн юугаараа давуу талтай багуд байдаг вэ гэхээр дандаа кород дээр чин залуухан хүчтэй тоглогчд, мундаг тоглогчд. Танав даралт сайтай тоглогчдыг авдаг. Spirit бол бүрэлдэхүүнээр нэлээд одчихж байгааг мэдж байгаа. Virtus Pro багийнхаа харин бүрэлдэхүүн нөөрчлөгдөд нэх удааг байгаа. Тэрийг Жорж ирснээс хойш нэг 6 сар болж байна уу? Тэрийг FNG гэсэн хоёр тоглогчийг хамгийн сүүлд 23 оны 3 сард авсан. Тэрний өмнө бол Squad 1X Norris болон Seyo гэсэн тоглогчдыг 22 оны сүүлээр авсан. Тэр Virtus Pro багийнхан Spirit-ийг бодвол яг бүрэлдэхүүнээ эслээд удаагүй байгаад байгаа.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
CC all time carry гэнэ. Фөөх. Тэрүүл зодоо хэлэх юм болохгүй шүү болох.
Team spirits turn to
1080 байгаа үстэй. 1080 байгаа да. Өөрөө нэг чеклээ.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pros.
Нэр 1080 биш биш тий. Ай.
Lena, choose your hero.
Таад буцаад ороод ирэх үү? Би болиулж байгаа дахиад нэг хийж үзээд гэх 1080 дээр үстэй. Яаж ч бодсон. Яг ганцхан минут болно.